Hello, everyone.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Cryptic Heartland Podcast, episode number 114. And we are live in studio. I got myself. I got the man tapping on the console is Mr. Dan the Man.
Good afternoon, everybody.
And the guy who's doing his best man to compose is Jason. Hi, Jason.
Hi, how's everybody doing tonight?
Fan-freaking-tastic.
I'm still keeping myself away from people. So
Yep. Yep, so it is what it is, but, I'm glad you at least can join them by
You bet.
lovely chat. Or actually phone, whatever.
I'm glad you guys allow me to be here.
Yep. Trying to see how everything looks here real quick here behind the scenes. I apologize. Come on.
Man, Jason, this place is kind of cool tonight.
Oh, yeah.
You got to check out the new studio upgrades.
I know he was talking about that.
Wow.
Well,
No, I've never noticed before since I never watch it. So the little the nun that's right there in front of you, kind of on your right. She's got the creepiest eyes staring back at you.
Staring you down, man. What do you
from this
expect?
view.
Definitely.
Thank you, Charles. I'm smiling, baby.
I feel like they're like actually watching me or something.
Good. Staring you down, man.
You seen that show, The Nun? Man, that'll freak you out.
I still never watched the actual
Oh my
Nun.
God.
I watched was it the original Conjuring? No, wait. Which one's she in originally? Annabelle? Which one's she in? She's in one of the movies to start with.
Isn't it The Conjuring 2?
Is it
The Conjuring 2.
Yeah.
I've seen her in The Conjuring 2, because that's the house, right? The, whatever it's called.
That's the one out in Europe, right?
Oh, that's the first one. The first Conjuring has it in there. Yeah, because the second one's the Edenfield case out in England.
Yeah.
And then the third one, I don't know what the third one is.
See, I've never watched them, so I have no idea.
I watched the first one. I need to watch the second one, because the second one I know they play at the end in the credits. They show the actual footage and pictures, stills of what happened in the case and whatnot.
Them jumping
Infamous
off their
jumping
bed.
out of the bed. Yeah. Yep.
Jumping off their bed.
Sprung into action. Yeah. Hey, I don't judge.
And speaking of that, though,
What's up? Who's
September 1st on Travel Channel, they're
Yeah.
doing an Ed and Lorraine special.
I will watch that.
Yeah.
Because I like them a lot. So
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what they have to say as far as just the show itself. It's about their cases and their life.
Yeah.
Kind of setting the record straight, because they got so many misconceptions about them right now, where they were, what they did, what they didn't do. And I know some of it probably was their own doings. Because at the time, who knew what, social media would become, where you can actually research things and spread the truth, now. And
Right.
so I'd be interested to see. Yeah, I saw Tony Sparrow was promoting the hell out of that.
Yeah.
Which is Ed and Lorraine's son-in-law.
Son-in-law.
Yeah, he owns the infamous Annabelle doll now and runs the museum out of the basement, out of the Warrens now. So I think he has a museum still, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I saw he's posting all that as far as that goes. Trying to read everything.
Yeah.
Who's talking?
Carl,
Captain Carl. What's up, sir?
Charles.
Yep. So,
Yeah, I want to watch that special. I mean, I've followed Ed and Lorraine for 30 years plus. I mean,
how old are you?
Yeah, I'm old.
Oh, I'm kidding. I'm just as old, so I can't say anything.
I've read some of her books way back in the
Have
day,
you?
So, yeah,
That's one thing
yeah.
I never have read. I wish I would, just because I know, just her and, he's been dead, since 2002 or something like that? Or is it
2 or
Yeah.
6.
Is it
It's way back then.
Yeah. So, but she's been around for all the shows now, more
Yeah.
recently years, all the ghost hunting shows, and was really a prominent fixture on Paranormal State. Yeah, a lot, it seems, which I loved. I know after a while it was found out that they were kind of faking evidence, because even the clients were saying that's not what happened.
Right.
And that was the first real, in recent memory, of anybody saying that TV was faking evidence on a ghost hunting show. Because they said they were rattling things, throwing beer cans in one episode, and the owner
wow.
came out and said, no, that was them. They physically put that in there. So,
Yeah, that is not right.
whatever. It's
That what's his face? I forgot what his name was.
Ryan Buell.
Ryan.
Yeah. But hey, it did
And
produce a couple
well-
good things. It brought out Katrina Weidman, which I like a lot. She's been on the Portals to Hell, to Paranormal Lockdown with Nick Groff,
Yeah.
and also Chad Kalick, who we like a lot, and he's good buddies with Josh Hurd out of Iowa. Josh was actually in some of Chad Kalick's films that they produced, and of course Chad brought the infamous Sir No Face to our group, so which we got to witness and watch, and it was really good. I liked it.
That was a good video.
I watched the
Yeah.
part 2, which was Two-Face, but you guys have never watched it still.
No.
We need to sit down
So-
and watch it.
Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about
Hell
the
no.
first one a little bit?
Okay. So the whole certain no face thing was, there was this group out of Sydney, Australia, called the West Sydney Paranormal Research, I think is what it was. Something like that.
That sounds
Anyways.
right.
Yeah. Out of Sydney, and Chad Kalick, who I need to start putting some pictures of these people. Chad Kalick was like I said, if you see his picture, you're like, oh, I know who he is now. Oops, hang on a second.
He's all over all the paranormal shows.
I mean,
back in the
yeah.
early 2000s.
Yeah,
all the way through.
he did his own shows with Ryan Beal. He also did American Ghost Hunter, which you never seen it, have you? By chance, American Ghost Hunter?
No,
I actually have a copy out that you borrowed. Jason watched. You watched it, didn't you, Jason? Did you ever watch it?
I think I still own it. I think I still
So
have
when you want
it.
to borrow from
I haven't
Jason-
given it back yet.
okay, I'll buy it from Jason.
Yeah, no, they made a film together, Ryan and Chad, and they made this film together about Chad's backstory, why he got into paranormal stuff
Really?
like that. And that's the
Okay.
first time I ever seen Josh Hurd actually was in that video, because
Oh, really?
he's in the background of some of their B footage, whatever, some of Chad's best evidence they caught, basically. But going back to Chad Kalick and Sir No Face, what it is he was doing the world tour of some of his shows. I think it might have even been American Ghost Hunter. Matter of fact, he was doing a tour of promoting the heck out of it, and I can't remember if he was in Sydney at the time or somewhere. He was somewhere where this group happened to come over and check him out, listen to his speech, whatever, about American Ghost Hunter and whatnot. This West Sydney Paranormal we're talking about, from Australia. They came out, and actually I think it might be from New Zealand, but anyways, I know Sydney, whatever. But anyways, they're down from different country. They were he said he noticed this group and this guy just kind of hanging out, in back, and people were to come up and talking to Chad. And at the end, this group made it a point to introduce themselves. Say, hey, we're I got some footage I'd like you to see, or whatever. One time, and Chad's like, oh sure, because everybody says that to me, kind of a thing. So, anywho, they was like, hey, you just want to introduce ourselves, let you know who we are. Here's our stuff. Maybe we can get in touch sometime. And left it at that and walked away, and Chad's like, okay, that was kind of weird. And he said, I just had a feeling about this guy, one of the main group, leader or whatever. His name is Craig Powell, by the way, the guy I'm talking about from West Sydney. He started talking to them, or Chad did his thing, wrapped up, went upstairs to the hotel room, was hanging out, just kind of just vegging out. And all of a sudden he hears boom, boom, boom on his door, knocking. He's like, oh, who the hell is that, I wonder? Opens the door up. Lo and behold, it's Craig Powell in West Sydney Paranormal. He's like, first of all, how the hell did you get my, my room number and shit like that? He's a little spooked at first, but then he's just like, I just felt a common connection with this guy, he said. So he decided to go ahead and, well, come on in, let's talk about some shit. And he goes, we got some stuff to show you. And he's like, okay, I've heard it all before, I've seen it all before. I've actually experienced it all before, kind of Chad's thinking in his mind.
Exactly.
So they start playing a couple of videos and stuff like that. He's like, okay, that's interesting and shit like that. And then he gets to this one, and the video was just unbelievable. I heard that, like a breath.
Yeah.
Might be Jason yawning off camera. But
Oh no.
so he what do you call it? Oops, I spelled his name wrong. Dang it. He heard the story behind it, and he saw this one particular video, like, or I can't remember. Actually, no, I think. Let me rewind. Let me go back to that.
No,
They put their own show on, so he's like, I'm gonna go check these people out, because they insisted, kind of like it was their own little Paracon thing. So he insisted that he come to visit him. So he started off camera. No, I think what they did is, I'm sorry, my story's all jacked up. I apologize. Can we start the show over? Let me put the intro back on. Sorry. So basically, they're like, we need to come together, and we want to go and do, hang out and do a joint Paracon kind of thing. You can talk about American Ghost Hunter, we're talking about our stuff, and Chad's like, okay, cool. So Chad does his spiel, gets up, does his thing, kind of sits off camera, just hanging out in the back, and they start playing their stuff, and he's just kind of watching them and stuff, and half-heartedly paying attention, and then he said they started playing some video, and it just caught his attention. He's like, what the hell? And then he started watching it more, and he's like, oh my god. So what it was is, he ended up seeing there's this light phenomenon, and when you watch the video, it's pretty wild, because it's like you see these flashes of light, and it's like, well, somebody's just shooting a light, flashlight coming on and off. But the thing is, I guess when you actually watch the footage, they don't tell you this really until you watch the actual footage. They're in complete darkness, so whatever they're filming, they can't see anything. You can't see the hand in front of your face. It's just pitch black. the only time you see them on camera is when that light phenomenon happens, and it's happening in the room. It's like basically a light bulb. Looks like it's popping, and it does that little blink, and then it goes away. Well, this is from complete darkness to happening, bright lights in the room, and it's popping nonstop in the room. They're like, "What the hell?" And they started to call this guy sir. He's like, "Thank you, sir," to the entity they thought, because it was at an island called Cockatoo Island, which is it's in New Zealand actually. It's a former prison, and this group was called in to start paranormal investigating because the Sydney military, or the Australian, like whatever they call their council, whatever they call it down there, their parliament, I think it is, wanted to start doing some kind of like ghost tour or something, there or whatever, tours of the island, maybe tying some haunted stuff into this island. But the fact was, it's like, we don't know anything about this building. Let's hire a group to go, or this place.
Check it out.
Let's go ahead. And they caught some of the best footage, unbelievable footage. It's like, holy shit. That as soon as they wrapped up, the Parliament said, no more, we're not going to do this anymore. We're not even going to have the tour anymore. They just shut it off. Like, all instantly. It's like, well, that's bizarre. What the hell was that about? Here we caught the, the holy grail of freaking footage for you, including an entity, and you're shutting us all down? That's bizarre. So it only intrigued their their thirst to find out why more, and they've been ever since then investigating more, digging into some shit that's unbelievable. But their footage they caught is some of the craziest freaking for a full body apparition.
It's unbelievable.
And,
it's solid. I mean, you can't really see through
They're in Messenger, Leo. I think I
saw it.
The actual picture is what I found.
Which? Sir Face?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Sorry. I was trying to find them. Hang on.
So I didn't know if you wanted to show it or not.
I don't know. People find your own shit. This isn't free. I'm just kidding. No. Of course I will, man. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to pull this up here. I'm going to pull up a couple of pictures here. I got to get it. This was off topic. We weren't expecting to talk about this. I don't know how we stumbled across this. But while I get this, Jason and Dan, have a conversation.
Well, hey, Jason, how you doing there, sir?
Okay, maybe not that conversation.
No, I just checked out I was looking over there, and he was talking about the little nun. That's where
that's
at.
right.
Yeah.
See, look at that rabbit hole.
I'm looking at the nun right there, man. That is kind of freaky looking at it on the screen. I never noticed.
That's
hilarious. It's the new lights. That's what it's doing. It's showing it perfectly.
Yeah.
That nun is stupid.
I think I'm freezing.
Wow.
I'm freezing the camera up, guys. I apologize. That's me. Give me a second here. I mean, we can.
Yeah, it's been kind of lagging.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's.
Yeah, the camera's been kind of lagging.
But that's okay.
Well, stop doing it, man.
You wanted me to start
no,
pictures and shit. I didn't want to. I'm kidding.
I know. But no, the Sir No Face was an interesting case for sure. It's a great video if you want to watch it. They do a lot of lead up to that moment, though. You spend a lot of time just watching the lead up to it. But it is fascinating because they do explain how they actually did their investigation, how they just set up cameras inside the building and left, to capture what they did catch on camera. So they're by themselves, the camera's alone in the building. I think, did they actually go in there to place a camera, or did they put it through the window and then left it?
What the deal was, like I said, they had started catching her in those light phenomena. I was talking about that light bulb looking thing that would,
right.
And they would hear, audible knocks and voices and all that fun stuff. To where the point was, they would. It's kind of like us in some of the places we go, where we go back and forth, continuously over the years, and we have free reign to go anytime we want to. And the one time when this figure was caught, it was just his wife. And another investigator was just setting up cameras to run overnight. Just like, well, hell, we'll just see what happens, If something happens, it happens. If not, no biggie. So they just happened to be lucky to capture this entity. Like, they put it in there, walked away, and it happened overnight at some point.
Right.
Out of nowhere. They just happened to go back and started reviewing the footage, and then they're like, oh, holy shit, what is this? Who's this? Who came in there,
Yeah, there's only 2 people on the whole island,
Yeah.
know? I mean,
the thing was, they were actually sleeping there in, like, tents or something like that, I guess.
Yeah.
So, because you have to take a
Yeah,
boat
they had to hike
Go ahead.
They had to hike a long ways just to get to where they had to go to transport over to the boat
Yeah.
tents, and
So it was.
Yeah, it's
it
crazy.
Was it was the wife of Craig Powell and also another investigator that was there, and then also the guard that's on duty all 24 hours, I guess,
Right.
was there. And up to there, they were like, okay, why did you go in there? You know, and because you see in the footage, this thing comes into frame and then immediately backs out almost instantly, and so you sent us a message. You said, Jason.
Yeah.
Hard time getting it. Sorry, man. Hang on one second here. So in the meantime, let me put these guys up here. So the picture I have here is nobody other than Jason. So let me get another picture up here. Where the hell is everything at these days?
Jason doing his mannequin pose. I like it.
Yep. So the picture I want to bring up here in just 2 seconds there. I apologize. I'm not, like I said, I wasn't prepared for all this because this is not the route we were going to go. But hey, I like it.
What route did you have?
I had none actually. No, I had
Yeah, it just happened, you know.
yeah, that's fine. So over my dumb head, you'll see here coming up in about 2 seconds here. So over Dan's right shoulder and above Jason's head, you see he can't do it either. Come on, Mr. Weatherman.
There it is.
The one with the backwards hat on, that's Chad Kalick. He's the one you've seen maybe possibly if you ever watched Paranormal State back in the days with Ryan Buell and Katrina Wiedemann and all those people. He's the one that was on tour just kind of doing his thing. And then the guy with the skull on his shirt, the big white skull, that's Craig Powell from West Sydney Paranormal. And he's the one that had the no surface footage that enough that when he sent it over to Chad, it's just like he was like, okay, what is this? Is this faked? He even, and the video is interesting because he calls him out. He's like, okay, dude, I'm going to tell you this. I've been around for so long. Chad's saying this to Craig. He's like, I've been around for so long. I have actually, my neighbor, and this is true, his neighbor in California is one of the guys that does special effects for like Transformers to Avengers to you name it. So if this video is faked, I'm going to call bullshit on it.
Find it, yeah.
I'm gonna call that's his quote. I'm gonna call bullshit on you. I'm gonna expose you as a fraud, basically. And Craig's telling him, "Dude, prove me wrong. I want somebody to prove me wrong because I have no idea what the hell I've caught. You know, I don't know what this is." And he just seemed legit about it. And matter of fact, like, you know, I'm not. We didn't fake anything. Number one, and prove me wrong. I want somebody to tell me what this is. And that guy from does Hollywood special effects and everything said, I don't know what the hell I'm looking at, man. This thing's not overlaid. It's nothing like that. This is authentic footage. Whatever this is in the goddamn room that they caught, and it's just freaking phenomenal. So, let me see real quick here. I'm still trying to get that ding. Jason sending me shit I can't find. I'm afraid
Come on, Jason. Did you send it to the
It's
right
just
man?
on. It's
Yeah.
on Messenger.
Yeah, but if I'm afraid if I pull Messenger up, it's going to kill the feed.
Okay.
Let me see real quick. There's other ways around.
Well,
I just got to get it real quick. Hang on. Go ahead.
I
You
could
dog.
try to do it away, but
I can't do the other thing we normally do because it's not pulling up tonight for some reason. Our normal chat.
all right. Well, if you just Google it
Yeah.
yourself, you can bring it up through the images and everything.
Yeah.
But I just typed up, Cerno face image,
Yeah.
and it eventually there it is. It's a phenomenal. I mean, it's not like a pic that you would imagine. I mean, it kind of startled me at first. Like, really, this is it? This is the image that we're waiting for. But how it reacts and how it moves is what is really startling. And then when you start to look at the actual image itself, and it doesn't look like a ghost or anything like that. It's a physical creature of some kind inside the building.
Gotcha. Hope I don't lose the feed. I don't know if I'm kind of concerned. Something just happened. I'm not gonna mess.
Yeah, it just keeps interrupting.
Well, I just got an error message, so
Yeah.
it may not be us. It may be something with. Problem is, we're using servers that are out of somewhere else. We always use different servers, so we don't have control over that, unfortunately. But it's supposed to roll over. But I noticed, and it's not just us. Today there was a big outage everywhere across the U.S. for different things like Reddit to Hulu to.
Gotcha.
The reason I know about it is because I work for a company here in Wichita, and our online banking went down, whatever. And I'm like, what in the hell? So I was getting alerts and pages and all this at 6:50 this morning, and we were trying to troubleshoot it. And the company we use,
Yeah.
that clued us in on it. Yeah, something's happening. God dang it. So, I I'm gonna leave it as is. I don't want to touch too many things to break anything. So let me see if I can just find these pictures and shit. Hang on 1 second. This is gonna be a fun night.
Sorry, do you want me to send it a different way? Or?
Nah, I just have to send it this. I'll just have to pull it up and find it because
I mean, right now that's like the best I can use.
nah, you're good. I'll have to find it because hang on. But anyways, it was enough to where the video that they've got more answers than, or more questions than answers, kind of a thing, like our Tahlequah case where we left with not enough answers, that we kept on going back and researching, and now the government says you can't go there anymore. So they're having like, not that they sneak on, but they can't go into the buildings anymore. They can just film from outside.
Film from the outside. Yeah, they can't go in the same place.
Yeah, because even when they tried to recreate it to show Chad, he had to show him this is how I did it, or this is how they did it. And they got to get the angles as much as they could. Actually, they tested it the next day, I think, on the footage, because they were surprised what they caught. That,
Yeah, to try to do it. See if they can
yeah,
mimic it. Yeah.
and you can clearly see where a person is not transparent. You know, it's pretty solid. So it's just baffling the fact that they caught an entity. You know, that's the hardest thing to do is have it pointed in the right direction, the cameras and shit. So what in the hell? Everything's borked. I'm going home. Right, Carl? He says, damn Russians and Chinese, man. I'm telling you. Ah, Jesus, come on. At least we got a good picture in there. Dan's
Look at me.
stationary and
I'm
Jason's stationary because he's a picture. And
Oh, good. At least, yeah, it's not a horrible picture of us all stationary.
and I can pretend I'm either Chad or Craig. God dang it. Come on, computer.
Hey, my eyes were open at the time. That is awesome.
Nice.
It's a plus. There it is.
What's that? What'd you say, Jason? Plus
What are you
what?
talking about?
You said it's plus.
What? I said that's a plus. His
Oh, that
eyes
is a
open.
plus. Correct.
Yes.
I could have been on the floor.
So why you want to just skip this conversation and go with
you brought it up. Now we're gonna go hard
direction you?
I don't have a direction.
Hey, you guys brought up other stuff, and then
Yeah.
you brought up Sir No Face. So I just said, well, let's talk about
You're talking
it.
about the Nun and the Conjuring and all that stuff. Maybe it's
Well, you guys brought up everything about the Warrens and all that
Oh,
stuff.
yes, I did.
and
oh,
Yeah,
dang it, Dan. You get somebody on the podcast who
So-
just wants to spew shit.
so
I'm spewing.
I'm kidding.
Hey, I could go spewing some more. Did you see
Go ahead.
they're getting ready to auction off a lock of Abraham Lincoln's hair?
Really?
Yeah, and everybody's all freaked out about it. Why
Why?
would anybody want to own Abraham Lincoln's hair? That's morbid.
Not
Man,
really.
there's people out there that would own that. It's historical.
I would take it.
Yeah, exactly.
I would, and then I would donate it to a museum. I would
you
get
would.
that and
You
donate it.
freaking goody.
Keep
Fuck
it.
that. The highest bidder gets it later on. Slow for millions, billions. I'm just kidding around. Well, son of a bitch. Well, I guess we won't play that picture. So okay. Well, we'll continue on as such. Let me see if I can.
I'll try to post it up. I'll post it up later after the show for everybody.
Don't do it.
Damn it!
So, and
I never get any
Face,
fun, you know that.
the second part of it, though, I mean, where to go from there? Did they
Well,
find anything else out, or?
it actually went to be, what if Surf No Face, I wish I could show you the picture because that'll kind of help tie it in. What if Surf Face isn't an entity at all?
Oh no, yeah.
They said-
I'm to that point too.
What if it's
I
what they call a gray?
I see a gray in him.
And
Yeah,
it's called,
you can
yeah.
see it in the eyes and everything.
Yeah.
so that's what the second episode is about. And he was getting all kinds of weird stuff where people, he said some guy came up and this is Craig down in Australia. He went to he was at home one day and just sitting in his house just nonchalantly, and somebody comes banging up on his door, and he's like, this guy just kind of creeped him out a little bit. He's like, hey, who knows where I live? You know, nobody should know where I live. And basically just felt weird about the guy, you know. And I can't remember if he handed him something and said, here, if I tell you any of this, I'm going to be killed, whatever, or something like that, and just walks away. And he's like, what the fuck? So he puts stuff down, goes outside and looks, and he has like this long driveway, so it would take the guy at least a good couple minutes to get down the driveway, and then around the corner is a big street where you can see both ways. So he runs down out at his house and looks around and walks down the street and he can't find this guy anywhere.
Mm.
It happened also too because they were touring.
Because he didn't look up. He didn't look up.
What happens when you look up?
He got beamed up, you know?
So there was also when he was touring for Sir No Face, a guy in the back. One of those things. Have you? Okay, think about this, you two. When we do live events and stuff like that, do you guys ever see somebody in the crowd or anything that you fixate on, kind of stands out more than most people?
Oh, yes.
For me, it's a hot girl. So I'm just kidding. Joking, kind of. Anyways, so I always make eye contact with them when we're talking, at our events and whatnot. So he kept seeing this guy in the back. Just this guy, just everybody, like us, just modern looking, and this guy was kind of a little off. Just kind of almost like he should have belonged to the 60s or 50s or whatever, with the greased hair, and the leather coat, and the boots, and then jeans, just kind of like the Fonzie type from Happy Days, And he kept watching this guy. This guy had sunglasses on. He just kept looking at him. And this is another guy that had evidence for him. He's like, I want to tell you everything you need to know. Here you go. This is, and he gave him photographs to maps to everything. I think he even gave him some video clips in there too and everything. He's like, this is what you need to know. He goes, I'm telling you right now, I can't talk to you anymore because they're going to kill me. So, and he's like, okay, that's weird. And he started watching this stuff, and it's videos of alien ships supposedly recorded and all this shit, and just different things, that the government, that's from a government hands kind of a thing. And so basically, chapter 2 to this, part 2 of the sequel, I think it's 2 Grays, what it's called, or something like that, is they think it's an alien, possibly. And why is it on this island down there? I don't know. They don't know that part of it. And
Secluded island, man. What a way place to hide,
Right. And maybe that was part of it with the, the Sydney, government saying, okay, you guys can't be here anymore. You guys caught something you should have never saw.
Right.
We were just looking for ghosts. You caught more than you should see, and now you can't put that out there. If you do, you're going to claim it's a ghost, that's fine, kind of a thing, but that's it. And
Yeah.
it's even now to where there's a third volume of this, like a trilogy, which I haven't
Really?
watched the third one yet. I can't remember what the third one's called yet. I haven't seen it yet. I was thinking about it, but I was like, nah, I'll just pass. So, but Dan, quit staring at Charles.
I'm sorry, Charles. I didn't mean to stare at you like that.
Like I said, I don't know. I'm afraid to touch this. If we go dark, it's because Dan was staring at Charles. Let me see real quick here. It's something happened on the page that we broadcast live from. It's very bizarre. Makes you wonder: is it the old curse of the content that we're doing?
Sir No Face killing it.
Things you shouldn't be talking about. Good old Men in Black. Things you didn't see what you thought you saw, kind of a thing mentality.
You didn't see a guy in the back of the room with the greased hair and the glasses. It wasn't me.
Hang on.
Tanya, I'm frozen. I can't smile when the screen is frozen. I'm sorry. I am smiling. I am right now.
No, we were just talking about a case, not our case, and then everything went weird. Very weird. Come on, computer. Trying to think what I want to touch to not break anything. This is crazy. Let me see. Vacation.
Vacation. It's spinning again. Come on. Yeah, that look I have right now is pretty somber. Oh, there's my mean look. See, now it frozen my mean look. Oh, no, I'm back.
Are you moving? Are you moving
No,
and shaking?
no.
I'm trying to get this pulled up. Hang on 1 second.
I did like that mean look for a
That was
second.
funny,
That
yeah.
was
It was like action Dan.
pretty cool. Put it back, see what happens.
Nope, now you're looking off in the...
I'm looking off into the distance there.
Yeah. Jason's the best at hiding. He's not even moving.
He's got a good picture.
Maybe we should just put our own pictures of us up there. Pretty damn close. So, I'm trying to look at some couple of things here.
Oh, you should. Just take a selfie and put it up there.
Nope. I don't take pictures of me. That's how they find you, Jason. They find what's in the
Look,
background.
you're
and
live on
they know where
TV
you've
right
been.
now. You know?
As far as you know, maybe I'm not alive. Well, son of a beach. This is fun. I think what is going to happen, I'm going to end up going... Because like I said, I can't get any better internet. This is the best
The best you can get.
the best that's available out there. So as long as if you can do anything. Oh yeah, I did mention Tahlequah. You're right.
Oh, freak. You did.
Tahlequah. I ain't scared of you. Goodbye.
We all need to go down there and float. See, do the Tahlequah River float. And just walk up on some land out there, see what happens.
Get caught by Bigfoot. If he
Yeah.
exists. If he exists.
If he exists.
He doesn't. Psych. He does. Let me kill some of these freaking services. Hang on real quick. I'm going to see if that helps speed things up. Probably lose my mouse, but it's alright. I don't need it. We'll go old school.
Oklahoma.
Yep.
Oklahoma, where the wind comes. Never, sorry. I ain't going to do it.
I think we did.
I'm sorry.
Might as well continue now. Don't stop. Let's see here. Hell, I don't know. So yeah, that's not me, I don't think, guys, breaking this thing. It's the server. Like I said, I think there was a big outage earlier today. I don't know if it's ever been fully resolved. I should have thought about that before we went live. Because I bet you my computer's getting annihilated. What?
Okay.
What happened?
Well, I just keep hearing something. I was making sure it wasn't
Oh, no.
something in the background, yeah.
It's legit. Wonder if I do this, is that gonna abort things? We're trying it. We're trying everything I can to see if that helps anything.
So, Carl, how you been doing today, man? You've been hanging out over there in Dodge, getting people riled up. I see you fixed a couple doors. I did like that.
Yeah, look good. He's doing some painting at the depot.
Yeah.
Came out
Yeah.
pretty nice.
Getting it ready for us to come back down there again
Hopefully, yeah.
very soon, I hope. Hope we can get in there before 2021 starts.
Yeah, because who knows what that's gonna bring.
I hope so.
I do too.
Well, come on. I'm watching the computers and making sure everything looks like it's doing what it's supposed to. So anyways, yeah. There is, like I said, if you get a chance to, check out Sir No Face. And there's, like I said, Two Gray. And then there's a third one I can't remember, that eludes me right now. I can't think of what it's called, but it's definitely worth checking it out because the videos evidence is very compelling, including the some of the they show a little bit of the alien footage, but nothing like craziness. But I need something, Carl.
Flux capacitor.
I'm about to get involved with the Iranians and get some plutonium and
Oh, yeah.
see if that helps fix and speed shit up. I'm just trying to do some searches while I'm waiting to see if there's anything down. But, anyways, what else you got, Jason? Anything?
I'm just listening to you guys.
No. No.
So what direction did you have for tonight?
Well, it's not going to work tonight anyway, so can't do it now. No,
That sucks.
the second half I always play videos and shit, and that kind of whole thing. And
Fact or faked, buddy.
had some videos that kind of want to check it out and see, but that's not going to happen tonight with everything. So I'm trying to do some quick searches, see if
The
anything's
way
there.
everything's freaking new.
Yeah. What goddamn. What? What are you laughing at?
Oh, nothing. Oh, nothing.
Okay. So anyways, well, shit, that was fun.
It's just hard to come up with stuff with not being in studio,
Oh, we
so
got
I'm
we
kind
got
of
to talk about
hoping you guys have some stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean-
go for it.
Ed and Lorraine Lauren.
I'm ready.
I was there. I was going that way.
So
and
you were talking about some of the books. Do you remember any of the books off the top of your head?
yeah, I read one of them on her demonology. I can't even remember the name. It was demonology and something. I can't remember what it was.
Gotcha.
It was one of her earlier books in the 60s.
Yeah.
And I read it, late 70s, right
Oh,
after
cool.
I watched Amityville Horror.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Very cool. Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever read any of her books off the top of my kid I can think of. No, I don't think I have. I should.
Yeah, you need to read a couple of them just to
Yeah.
see.
So do
Get
you
us in our head.
What, Jason?
do you or do you not believe that Amityville was real or fake?
Amityville.
Yeah.
So many. Okay.
Nothing happened besides the murder, and ever since that family moved out, nobody has had one incident there.
True. So they say. I mean,
So it makes it hard and compelling. Now, also the family that the Lutzes that lived there, they had books on all this stuff, like in their house, like demonology and all this stuff. They claim they didn't know anything about it. They did. They read about it. So it makes me go to think, how much full of shit are they? And how does the Warrens play into that? Because, I mean, they come off saying it was the most haunted location they've ever been to and all this, but yet everybody who's lived there since is like, that's a joke. This place is like nothing.
But
you
see,
You said the Lutzes said that?
So, I don't know.
yeah, the resale of the house was
The Lutzes.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Lutzes, right, stated
The
everything
Lutzes
happened.
had everything.
Right.
right.
They had everything, and they had books, and they had all the research. They had all the knowledge of demons and what to say and everything.
Right. And,
They would have had that with all the knowledge of the books that they had in their house.
yeah, and the original
So,
murder happened with.
How am I to
Theos.
believe that yeah, how am I supposed to believe that they are 100% true to their story, and it kind of takes away like the realistic part of the Warrens, because they claim that's the most haunted place they've ever been to. And it's like, really?
Hang on, that's weird. Facebook Live just dropped, but it's back up.
I was pissing them off, that's why.
Yeah, quit
Yeah.
getting so animated, Jason. Jesus, man.
Well, I
Well,
don't
this is
know.
what I do. This is what a podcast is for, you know?
Dan's angry face.
It just makes me
Oh, shit.
upset about
Yes.
what's that?
Oh,
My
nothing.
angry face is back in line.
His angry face is frozen online.
No, so
Continue.
I'm just trying to figure out like why. Okay, well I've already said it, but so what's your comments on it?
Say that last piece one more time. We talked over you. I apologize. You said, what was the...
I know you guys were talking the whole time I was talking.
I know. I apologize.
So let me start over. So
Okay.
the Lutzes moved in after the shooting and all that. They
Right
know about
after.
that.
Ronald DeFeo.
And then-
Yep.
Yes. So then they have all this crazy shit happen. It's the horrifying haunting and everything. The
Mhm.
Warrens come in, they do their thing. Now, the Lutzes had the knowledge of everything, from the murders to all the books that they had in their hands. They had it in their house on demonology and different hauntings and everything. So they would have known what to say and how to recreate stuff if they had to.
Yeah.
Knowing what to say. And then the Warrens come in. It kind of just, to me, kind of dampens their credibility when they come in and they say, oh, this is the most haunted place I've ever been to. When everybody else who has lived there since has not had an incident, and everybody has lived peacefully, as far as we know.
Right. Well, I mean,
So,
they did film
where
in
does
there.
that store?
They did film in there, and it wasn't even I don't think it was Ed and Lorraine at the time. It was, I can't remember the guy's name, but where the guy with the infamous taking the picture of the kid coming out of the the
Right,
room.
whied they
That wasn't.
they
the
say it
Warrens.
could have been one of their staff members. That could have
Right.
been one of their staff members that
But-
was doing that.
And I might be confusing the case with one of the other cases, like The Conjuring, with the footage of the chairs moving and stuff like that. I thought that happened.
No.
in
This is
Amityville.
the little boy peeking around the
No,
staircase.
I'm saying too though, but that's the same people that caught the footage of the tables moving, wasn't it? Or is that part of The Conjuring?
Oh, I have no idea.
I
have no
I might
idea.
be confusing. the two
I
cases.
just know about the Lutzes and
Yeah.
them, and after they moved out, they even had to like kind of back off on some of their claims too, because
Right.
people were calling bullshit on them.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you start backing off on your own claims, where does that stand with Lorraine Warren and her husband? Because they're like all into it, and they're like, "Oh, this is the most haunted," but yet it's not. It's not coming out as being as realistic as it could have been, or how they say.
Right.
So I always have a problem with the story. I mean, I would love for it to have been real. I just really think it's not, which
Well,
really
I'll-
gives me that effect that I'm really kind of upset with the Warrens and how they really pushed it when it may have turned out to be a fake story.
Yeah, I mean it could have been. However, I mean you got to look at it this way too. Resale value is taken down away if hey, it's a haunted house, or some people back now would buy it because it is a haunted house. However, I mean the house has been sold almost a dozen times since the family left there.
Right.
That tells me something's
And
going on there.
well,
Maybe not
and nobody
paranormal.
well, everybody says they get tired of the onlookers, the constant coming up and finding a house and being on their property.
That
People
is
get
true.
tired of it,
Yeah.
so they move. They're like, "Fuck this! I gotta go."
Yeah.
And it's gotten so bad that they even reconstructed the windows
Yes. They
of the
did.
house to change
Yeah.
it.
They put a fence around
You
the
know,
yard
so-
and stuff. Yep. Change the
Exactly.
exterior.
So
Yeah.
I really feel like it's not really a haunted house. It's just something that went down in history. I mean, yes, there could be residual from the murders that happened, because that did happen. The murders happened. But the whole demonic flying pig with red eyes and all that shit, I think is completely. And the flies, and the flies in the room, and then the what is it? All the slime on the walls and
The
everything.
dripping blood.
I really
Yeah.
think I think they really pushed it with a narrative to get a name, and well, they did. They got a name, that's for sure, and it's made Hollywood a lot of money with movies and stuff. But I really think, but to me, it just really dampens my credibility for them, for the Warrens, because I mean, the Lutzes even came out and had to back off on some of their stories. They were like, well, okay, maybe that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Maybe this didn't happen.
They mentioned that it was more fabricated than anything. Even Charles just said the husband didn't want anything to do with it. After the books and movies came out, that he got divorced and left. It's more of the wife's doing
Yeah,
after that.
so
yeah,
that's where it really gets hard for me with all these, major hauntings, and you've got that one person, or a husband and wife going around claiming this is real, this is real. It's given them a name, it's given them a great name, but
Yeah.
is it really real? I mean, then they go off to Europe and they got the kids jumping off the beds and claiming this is real. I don't know.
no, I mean,
It
That's-
just kind of gets under my skin a little bit.
well, and it's
Because everybody thinks that they're just, I don't know.
well, it kind of gets the same
Go ahead.
thing as far as like what here locally with Sally House. I mean, everybody says it's one of the most demonic haunted houses ever, and
Yeah.
you've heard people say otherwise. I mean, claims that it's not what it appears to be, basically, and it's more of a sideshow now, or like a carnival show atmosphere now. The fact that because it's been out for so long, and so much has been said
Yeah.
that. I mean, we see it all the time in our investigations, the things we've been to a million times. How the story that's been leaked out. You got everybody changing, altering the stories, and whatnot, of things that we investigate over the years and stuff, and it's just amazing how much knowledge is out there now of one location. That's
Yeah, you got your Stoll Cemetery. You got,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as the Amityville goes, I mean, I think some of that stuff happened. I mean, not to maybe the extent that the original owners, the DeFeos had happen. I don't think the son Ronald was Ronald DeFeo, right? The
Ronald
son that did
DeFeo, yeah.
Ronnie DeFeo.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if he really and truly had the whole the house possessed me, demons kind of a thing, but made me kill my whole family, or as much as
Well,
was,
the police were able
drugs?
to
Was it the drugs?
yeah, the police actually, called bullshit on all that, and he finally was like, "Yeah, I did it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just did it."
just did it because I needed money. I wanted the money, and the drugs made me do it, kind of a thing.
Yeah, basically.
But with that incident first happening, and the trauma behind it, who's to say that didn't stir up something, in the house where there was already there in the first place? I mean, it is in Long Island, New York, where that's one of the oldest part of the, U.S., the whole Eastern Shoreboard,
Yeah.
And all the tragedy that happened, all the death, taking over the land, and close to it, you got Wall Street with, the immigrants with, the is it Holland people, I think it is, were down there, and they had that clash with the Italians and stuff like that in that area, or the Irish, excuse me.
The Irish, yes.
Yeah, not Italians, Irish, and I mean, you got all these bloody little things happening, these little spats. Maybe the house became active for a time being, but maybe not to the extent of what the Lutz were saying. I think they just kind of capitalized on, hey, we live in a very notorious case, house, whatever, and maybe we can make some things off of this. And we do have claims happening, but maybe we can blow them up a little bit out of proportion, other than just typical knocks and stuff like that, and occasional closed spots. Maybe we can make it really scary, and make a book out of this and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know about the Warrens as far as that goes. So I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. I mean, go back to the actual movie itself.
Mm-hmm.
Ed and Lorraine weren't even kind of featured in the movie. It's kind of strange how that was
Right.
even excluded from the movie.
It's kind of before their time. I mean, as far as that goes.
Well, yes.
Yeah. I mean, as far as notoriety and stuff goes,
Yeah.
they were just people in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know was there a certain case I wonder that really made them. Something like The Conjuring kind of brought all that back again. As far as what do you call it? Making
Blew 'em
things.
up.
Yeah, blew them up again in more
Yeah.
recent years now. Because I mean, like I said, Ed's been gone for years now at this point, and I mean, people really actually knew him.
Well, just like the Holzer files. I mean,
Yeah.
same thing. He's being populated by
Again, yeah.
some of his old recordings. People pulling the recordings from 60 years ago,
Yeah.
40 years ago. Actually, 40 years ago, back in 1960.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Some of the recordings are creepy.
yes, they are.
They're kind of,
Yeah.
they're just something about the audio. Even though it's just audio, it's just,
There's some pictures too. I mean, there's
Yeah,
some
yeah.
video that he has, some old 8mm,
Yeah.
and 60mm.
it's just, at the time, that stuff was more taboo kind of a thing.
Right.
And, this guy is doing all the research on these paranormal cases and whatnot. And, I mean, I'm glad the shows were out there now recently to bring that to light, and more to the forefront kind of a thing. But the audio just sounds, like I said, real creepily. I
Oh,
don't know.
yeah.
I don't know what it is, if it's just how it's recorded or if it's his voice or
Well, a
even
lot
the,
of it,
what do you call it? The subjects
yeah,
are kind of off.
a lot of it's his psychics that he brings in when they start doing that feed in of the spirit, basically taking over their bodies. Man,
Oh, yeah.
some of that is creepy. I mean, usually it's the same one.
Right.
Actually, kind of, the lady that you see in some of the pictures that he used. I mean, she
Mhm.
resembles the lady from Poltergeist. The little
Oh, Tangia?
Tangia.
Yeah,
Yes.
Tangia was her name in the actual show.
Yeah.
The Poltergeist show. Yeah. I think that, I can't remember, because she's based upon, Tangia is based upon, maybe it's Lorraine Warren, kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like, not quite, but she's obviously not, she's shorter, but I think she was based upon, her character is based upon a Lorraine type person, if I
Yeah.
remember right, yeah. But
Might have been the one that hung out with Holzer. I'll have to find that out.
Could have been.
I'll have to.
it could have been, I can't
Just-
remember. Yeah, so that's just crazy, I mean, but I'm glad it's coming, like I said, coming to light, because some of those cases would never even be thought about. And
Yeah.
I like how they're kind of doing it, trying to recreate it, and in modern times, and
Yeah.
kind of use some of the same tactics and whatnot. And one of them is one of them related to like the girl, who's I can't remember. I thought one of the girls on the show on the new Holzer Files case was like a descendant of Dr. Holzer.
Of the Holzer, yes, yes.
I was thinking it was a psychic that's on there, but she's not. She's just a psychic that's
Right.
on the show, and she seems, if it's legit, she seems to do a great job. I mean,
She was on last October during the Paranormal Live thing they did.
Uh-huh.
The Salem Live.
oh yeah,
She was
with,
on Salem
with,
Live.
Adam and all them guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
she was pretty good. I mean, some
Yeah.
stuff she was pulling up, and it's kind of neat from the jail.
Oh yeah, yep. So I can't remember her name. I wish I knew her name off the top of my head, but yeah, I know we're going all over the place.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's fine. No, it's making some good conversations. I just wish the feed and audio was better. Well, I think the audio is fine. It's just
Yeah, as my sister said, the audio's great, but the video is horrible.
it's terrible. Dan has his hand on his hip,
Oh, wow. No chair.
striking a pose. Whatever.
I'm posing.
I'm saying hip. I'm sleeping.
No.
Jason's frozen.
Jason, I will have to, though. I mean, I am big on the, and I have been for, damn it,
I'm gonna try something real quick.
almost 40 years. I've been big on the Amityville. I mean, I've watched all the stupid shows. After the first one, they're all kind of weird. But I will have to investigate a little bit more, see what if I can find. I am on a Amityville horror webpage.
Well, it's just a former member of the group, tried to bring the topic to the table too, and
yeah,
read a book and everything like that, and wanted to talk about the book on air and everything, and and I'm just like, but there's not been anything happening in the house since. Nobody. I mean, I've read where recent people who are putting the house up for sale, they're just like, wow, we just want to move. There ain't anything going on. There's nothing paranormal. So, like, why with just the Lutz? And when they actually have to renege on some of their claims, it just, to me, it takes it all apart right there.
well, yeah, but
And then I don't know. And then to me, it just dampens that want to believe that the Warrens maybe, I don't know, were they making up some shit just to sell a book or a story,
right.
because they wanted to make a name for themselves so bad too back then.
Now I do know
you got to look at it that way too.
Yeah, I do know the father that actually did the exorcism at the house and tried to bless it. Now, I don't believe he faked his issues, but then again, he was an older gentleman, so maybe yeah, he did drive off the road by himself.
Yeah.
And he had the accident. He went blind. That actually did happen supposedly, but because that was, I've read that in some of the online in the group, but I don't know. I'll have to investigate more on that. I will, because I'm fascinated by the building. I would love to go inside that thing just to see it.
Yeah, just for nostalgia. Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
It's also kind of like the whole keeping on the Warren theme, like how much of it, you hear about the famous Annabelle doll. I know
Yes.
we talked about it before on previous shows, but we all know by now the creepy little porcelain doll they portrayed, in the movies was not the actual type of doll. We all know at this point it's a Raggedy Ann doll.
It's not.
I know, right?
That was just for the movie.
For the movie.
But so much that obviously you guys, and I know people have actually seen it now, especially with Ghost Adventures and the whole Zach, touching the doll fiasco. But how much of it do you buy into that then, as far as the doll, people coming, the story behind the doll, at the Warren Museum in the basement, where that guy, bunch of kids, came in, younger kids, and came in to view the museum, and that guy was kind of taunting the doll, knocking on the glass, saying, "Oh, come get me," kind of a thing, and then promptly leaves as he's driving away from the museum, gets in that motorcycle accident and dies,
Right.
How much of that do you buy into? Is it more folklore to surround, the whole Warren mystique, and Annabelle for that matter, or is it really legitimate?
Well, I don't know. I've always been a fan of the actual story of, the people who had the doll have never wavered on their story of the doll.
Mm-hmm.
How when it was a nurse, it was two nursing students who lived in the house. It was a gift from her mom. That story's never wavered. They stuck with it.
Sure.
And then the Warrens came and took it and all that stuff.
Well, they gave it to her, didn't they?
Yeah.
They gave it to
Yeah.
her.
Well, yeah. That's what I
Oh,
mean.
Yeah, I thought you meant
Yeah, that's what I
took the
mean.
doll,
They
kinda
came
Zach
in.
would.
Yeah, they came in and they ended up taking it away and
James
everything.
definitely, yeah.
And,
Yep.
and to keep it and protect them from it. But so in my mind, yeah, there's haunted objects all the time, and shit. Just even talking about them on our podcast, we've had some weird shit happen.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I truly believe that the Annabelle could possibly be real, and that story I'm on board with.
But do you buy into the fact that she caused the accident because the guy was taunting her, kind of a thing? Do you buy into that story?
Well, sometimes you don't be a dick,
Not too late.
Maybe, yeah.
Sometimes, because he was down there taunting it and everything, and maybe it's just bad karma that happened to him right then and there.
Right.
And but it does give some validity to the whole story of Annabelle. Don't piss Annabelle off.
I do like the fact of this, like you were talking about the original story of the two nurses. That's hot enough as it is. No, I'm kidding. Just the fact that she was given, like you said, the doll was given as a gift, and The only thing that was even triggering her, suspicions about this doll was the fact that, she would put it on the bed and she noticed it was, moved a little bit or something, and she's like, she'd ask her roommate, hey, did you move my doll?
Right.
And she's like, no, I've never been in your room, whatever. Until enough to where, didn't they catch it one day standing in the middle of the room on its own?
It was. Yeah,
That's
it
enough to be
was.
like,
It was
holy
actually
shit
standing
moment.
there.
Yeah.
And there's parchment papers being left around with notes saying "Help me" and stuff. And they're like, we don't even have that type of paper in our house.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And it was leaving all these notes. It was changing positions, and then it was, and then it attacked one of the boyfriends.
Oh, that's
staying
right.
staying the night. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So a
real
lot of
possessive,
weird
yeah.
claims, and they never wavered on these stories.
Right.
But you get the frickin' Lutzes who go, well, maybe that didn't really happen.
Well, maybe they're the ones that hurt the Warrens' credibility as far as, maybe the Warrens truly believed the house was haunted and they blew the claims, but the Lutzes are the ones that took it to the next level. Obviously wrote the books and wanted a movie deal and, were on TV talk shows talking about their house, the most famous house, and added to the allure. I mean, but then again, you read some of the claims about the Warrens and it's not as, I don't know, favorable to them. Because, like, the whole Conjuring was the Ed and Phil case, the part 2, that they weren't even there for the majority of the, the case.
They weren't.
But the whole movie
Yeah.
centers around him, part 2, does.
Yeah, they
So-
were
Right.
there for the first first part of the.
Wait, 3 days or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they missed the majority of those actual claims, but
Yeah.
the whole movie centered around him, which I get. It's Hollywood, changing the script a lot,
Well-
making things.
Well, they got a new one coming out soon about with them.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
see, like in the part 2 of The Conjuring, they did, in the case, they did leave for a certain time because
did
that's
they?
when she started having the attacks from the nun.
Oh,
and
okay.
that's when she come out of the corner and the nun attacked her, and so that she left. But
Gotcha.
then they went back, which they didn't actually go back.
Right.
But in the movie, they did go back to
Just to keep
assist.
the storyline. Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've never watched that one.
It's interesting, but yeah.
Yeah,
The Conjuring House in eastern U.S.
yeah.
I mean, that thing, they're still doing cases. I mean, everybody's going out there now.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to check it out.
Well, Zach and them did it first, and
Yeah.
then did you happen to watch that episode with Zach and them by chance?
Yeah, I didn't much care for it.
See, I thought some of it was interesting. Just
Yeah.
when they're not in the house and they see that shadow thing walking up the stairs.
Well, yes. I mean, there's some good evidence on it. But
If that's legit, and like it could be, but it also could be one of their crew people because they do, contrary to proper belief, they do. It's not just the 5 guys walking or 4 guys, I guess at this point. Is it 4? Aaron, Zach, Billy, and
4 and 1 camera guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jay.
5, yeah, 4.
So there's more. There's actually guys carrying boom mics. There's guys, filming them. So I mean,
Yeah.
they have a production crew, so filming them and whatnot. So I mean, who's to say it wasn't? Hey, go up there and knowing Zach and them, especially
Yeah.
Zach, or the producers that do it. Go up there and walk around, creepily, whatever, so we can get you on footage. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, it's a creepy house though for sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And then I know who else went there? Portals to Hell went there, I think. Or was it-
Portals to Hell's
yeah.
been there, and then the other one, Kindred Spirits.
Oh, yeah.
went over
Amy
there,
and
so-
Adam.
Yeah, Amy and
Yeah.
Adam.
Which I like them a lot.
I do.
They're
Yeah.
more genuine and believable.
Yeah.
But the same token, it also makes for a more boring show because they're pretty.
Dry.
I mean,
Yes.
maybe I don't know.
He said they're pretty.
they're pretty.
They're pretty.
Don't ever pause when you're talking. But nah, anyways. So I don't know. I mean, like any story, it gets handed down, and it gets twisted a little bit to make it more scarier. The old good ghost story at night kind of a thing. But
When you got to think about it, you got what is that? I can't remember when The Conjuring was 60, 64, 65. I
But
think it was
the first one or the second one?
the first one, the first case.
I don't remember off the top of my head either. I should know that, but I don't.
I mean,
It was a long time ago. I know
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
You just go by the writings and what they did and they documented. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be changed. I mean, the story's going to change a little bit.
Sure.
And who gave him the documentation recently? And Tony. I mean,
Yeah.
what did he change?
Yeah.
So just to make it look good.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. Yeah. That's just. I want to believe that. I mean, I know the story that they put the movie wasn't the full story, but
Right.
for the original cases. But like I said, it had to be changed for Hollywood because
Yeah.
to make a good movie. But So I'm trying to read some of the comments down below here too. Yeah. So I don't know. Anyways, okay. Okay, that's the show now. I'm out of topic.
Mm.
Since we're broken.
You're out of topics already?
No, I could talk for days about everything. You know that. Just give us something to talk about. We'll talk about. So.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
Yeah. No. No, I truly believe, like, objects, like the obvious, tend to
Right.
attach itself
So
to
what-
energies, like dolls,
what's-
especially.
What's a case that you think deep down, paranormal, UFOs, anything? What's a case that you think is absolute just BS?
Oof.
That's a good question.
Haha.
What do you think?
I
Do you
asked
have
the
one?
question.
I know. I can
I
ask a
asked
question
the
back.
question.
I don't know
No.
if I have one off the top of my head. I don't think.
Blown out of proportion or just BS?
Just a story that is just BS that you think is just complete crap, and it's a story that people are like, well, I don't know, they bring it up all the time or something.
Well, that's a tough one because
Well, I mean, I'd
Or just a story that's
House in that
just a
one.
story that's
Which
out
one?
there.
Winchester House.
do you think that one is?
I don't think. I cannot. I mean, if all
Have you been
those-
there?
Have I been there? No. I've
Okay.
driven by it. I've looked at it. I haven't been inside yet. I will be inside it soon.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Anyway, good.
Whoa. sorry. No, I will go check it out relatively soon.
I mean,
Um,
I love the backstory. People that don't know about it, I'm sure you have seen it. It's the house in San Francisco or San Jose, somewhere around that area, up Northern California. I just kicked the camera.
Dude.
Somewhere it's up in North Carolina,
Victor,
Northern California. Where's it at?
Victorville?
Is that Victorville? I can't remember. Sorry, trying to get Dan back in focus. Not that you can't see him, anyways. He's frozen.
Frozen.
Do you want to build a snow? Anyways, boo. No, anyways, and it's like the Winchester gun. The husband had passed away already at this point, and
Yes.
she built his mansion. And the workers, she kept having them build different rooms, different like hallways, different doorways leading to nowhere, different doorways. If you open up, you
You
basically
fall to
fall to
your
your death because it's up in the air. She was doing that because she felt like if she did this, the spirits of the people who died at the hands of a Winchester gun won't get to her. So she was trying to confuse these spirits. I
Yes.
mean, what drove her in the first place to go this crazy, mad or whatever, and paranoid. But she also she did all kinds of stuff. She did that seance. She had a seance room. She
Should
had
have seen out room. Yes.
all kinds of different stuff just in this house. And there's supposedly all kinds of different spirits. Oh, it doesn't help to, do you think, well, I guess it doesn't. That's a dumb question to ask about the child because there's a little child running up there upstairs, supposedly.
Yeah.
But I was like, why would it be with this house? But I guess if you child can die in the hands of a gun too,
Right,
at
yeah.
any age. But anyway, she decided to build this house and just it was supposed to be just a mansion originally, but then she started getting to the point where she was freaked out, whatever, and
It kept building until she ran out of. Well, she died. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
so anyway, you were saying about the Winchester House. What is it that you don't like about it that you think it's so? Is it you don't believe any of the claims, or you think it's
Well-
blown out of proportion?
I mean, if the spirits were drawn to her due to the fact that the Winchester gun killed them,
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. But I don't know. I've never really seen spirits travel across the U.S. to haunt a single female that the firearm may have killed them or not. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It seems unbelievable, but maybe it could be true. I don't know.
Well, it's like I remember episode of Ghost Adventures. They visited the Remington factory for the same reason.
Yes,
and,
yes.
I mean,
definitely.
you wouldn't think there'd be no guns in there shooting people, but the fact is,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it traveled across the U.S. to haunt one particular person, but possibly. But what about the fact that, like, with the Forum Theater here in Wichita, we talk about all the time, where the pastor had been gone since the early 30s and passed away in the 60s over in Shreveport, Louisiana, but yet he's in Wichita,
there.
Wichita,
Right,
Kansas, of all places. It's kind of the same thing. What's holding him to a location?
His imprint. I mean, his energy. I mean, maybe
Mm-hmm.
at one time the energy.
I do have a theory on that.
What?
I said I do have a theory on why he's here.
Oh, okay. done, Danny? You wanna
No,
stop?
yeah, let's hear your theory.
Oh, you just stopped talking all of a sudden.
No,
I didn't know
he
Yeah,
paused. He
it
paused, so I
paused,
threw it
sorry.
in.
Yeah.
that. What's your thought?
It's
Jason?
pretty.
I was gonna shoot it down. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
No. So the church itself kept a log of everything that went on,
Right.
and in that paperwork, I'm gonna try and get a hold of Janet so I can get a copy of that too, because I actually had the copy and I don't know what I did with it throughout every time I moved. But they talked about Ernest arriving and everything he was doing with the church, and then he wanted to leave. He put in a petition to leave. They denied it. They gave him a secretary and the office and all that. He became president of like the pastors club. I don't know what it was called, but he became the president. And then a year later, he just up and left. And so they announced his leaving, and then they announced the arrival of the second pastor. And then there's nothing about this guy except for the fact that he gets a house. They build the what is it called? The Partridge? What's the house called that they give a pastor?
The Parriage, the
Yeah, that.
yeah.
You know what I'm talking. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. So they give, and that's built right there next to the church. So it's right there where the parking lot is now today, and they give him all this. They really like pampered the guy. It seems like, and then all of a sudden, there's no more mentioning of him. And then about a year or so later, in comes a new pastor, and then they have recorded documents on and for every pastor from that day forward. It's like that second pastor, something went wrong, and maybe Ernest is back because he feels regret over leaving and letting this guy come into power there at the church. I don't know, because you have all the children that are crying, you have the screams inside the place. What's that?
Nothing. Keep talking.
Okay.
Sorry.
But yeah, so that's my theory, is that it could be out of guilt and anger of why he's back, because he didn't like what happened at the church. Possibly.
That could be. Yeah.
Because we don't know that he did anything. Hell, they wanted to keep him.
Right.
But then he leaves, and then this other guy comes in, and after they give the guy everything he wants, a house and everything, they built a freaking new house for him right on the property. And then then no more. If there's nothing about him from that day forward, so I don't know.
So why come back to Wichita after the fact?
Unless feels that guilty about everything that happened in the church. I don't know. Maybe he always had that guilt inside about leaving that guy in charge, because maybe he found out that some things actually happened afterwards. Whether children were being treated, the staff, the way they were being treated, possible death inside, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either, but I keep thinking about that kind of stuff, and that's what keeps coming back to my mind. Is why document everything, but yet you don't document that guy.
Yeah.
After you pretty much kiss his butt and build him a house and everything, and then he's off and gone. So I don't know. That's just my 2 cents.
It's worth $1. That's good.
Well, thank you.
I want a refund. I want a refund.
What a refund.
I figured.
Kidding, of course. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. You going back to your question about as far as the cases that blown out proportion, I can't think of anything off my head. I'm sure there's one. I'll be like, oh yeah, I should have said that one. But everything I've heard. There's always all the famous ones from the Myrtles Plantation is. I feel like that's legit.
No, that is legit.
I feel
Been
like
there, done that.
the Alcatraz ones. I feel like that's a good haunted place. It's a prison.
Never been there.
Eastern. I've been there, but not for ghost hunting at the time. Prison time. No, I'm kidding. I went there for just when I was younger to visit. Saw it and went in there, and it's pretty cool. I wish I hadn't thought about hauntings and stuff like that back then as much as I do now, because I've been definitely looking and listening. Places like what do you call it? shoot, off to a drew a blank. Oh, Eastern State Penitentiary. I feel like
Eastern
that's a good
States,
one.
yes.
You know, Mansfield. I think it's a good one. All those
Waverly
places-
Hills.
Waverly Hills. Well, I mean, what about Waverly Hills? Waverly Hills. What about Waverly Hills? You think that one?
Waverly.
What do you think about
Sorry.
that one? You're
Lots
fine.
and lots of death there. I mean,
For sure.
so much energy there has to be something. So,
Right.
I feel a lot of those prisons are gonna like have a lot of activity in them.
Parks and
The prisons to the hospitals and
The
stuff.
asylum
Yeah,
and stuff like that. Yeah. For Sure.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's so sad and tragic.
Yeah.
You know,
especially the treatment of the
every
patients. The treatment of the
Oh, yeah.
patients. How they try to, cure them the best that they could. How they thought they knew how to. Some of those places like doing lobotomies and stuff like that. And well, you talk about
Yeah.
Galore. Galore is another place where similar stuff happened. Where they did some, to us now, archaic experimentation on people. Just to try to break them of their habits or whatever, their mentality, or trying to fix them, let's say. And I mean, all that turmoil or anger or negativity, it has to go somewhere. And a lot
Yeah.
of places,
Right.
it sticks around there. It resonates there to this day. That I don't know. Just when you both you two have been to Glore. When you guys
Yes.
walk there, in there, can you feel the energy? As far as is it negative? I mean, as far not necessarily negative. Hey, demonic haunting. Just
I felt like
heavy.
it was. I felt like it was just sad.
Okay.
Lots of
It was
sadness.
just-
Lots
Yeah,
of darkness.
a lot of uncertainty there. That feeling of uncertainty because a lot of patients that were being dropped off didn't have a clue what was going on or if
Sure.
family was even coming back. And a lot of times, family did not come back. They just dropped them off and see you later.
It's not
Yeah.
your problem, kind of a thing.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of people dropped off because of alcoholics. I mean,
Really?
yeah, or depression.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
Depression, bipolar people, people with ADD problems and stuff like that. They just
Yeah.
they couldn't. Families couldn't figure out what was going on with them, and alcohol and all that, and so they just drove them.
Yeah.
My mom, who grew up in Missouri,
Mm-hmm.
Missouri, she remembers that anytime they started acting up, her dad, my
Oh,
grandpa would be jokingly look at him and be like, "Don't make me drive you up to St. Joe,"
oh shit.
because they knew you could drive somebody up there and just drop them off, and the hospital will take you, and they will treat you how they want to. To
State
get
hospital number 4. Let's go.
Yeah, so
Craziness.
it is crazy. Yeah.
And Jason, you never made the tunnels?
No, I don't even know where they were. Like I said, I was there with a very small group of people. It was just the Miller group, which is 3 people, plus me and my parents, and then it was a mother and son that were there as guests too. We had the full run of the place, except I didn't know where I was going half the time. So, I know the curator that was there gave us a tour. Never showed us tunnels or anything like that. We saw basement, second, third. That was it.
Well, I'm going to make some phone calls because they are now allowing other teams in there. There's other teams going in there right now.
Hallelujah! Let's do it. Do it.
Yeah, because they just did or it's coming up. I can't remember either. I think it's coming up in September. A stay the night at the Glore.
Yeah, and you see who's hosting it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
not
Who?
Ghost Hunts USA. So
No.
I don't want to know.
it's somebody cool.
Yeah.
We know 'em. We're good.
I think
Okay.
we're coming back online slowly but surely. Cause I'm getting some things to populate now.
There's also another place that I need to talk to Jake about. Place he's been trying to get us into for a while. There's a team
Yeah.
going out there.
Huh.
Somebody we don't much care for.
Oh my
So,
God.
yes.
Can you narrow it down? I'm kidding.
I could if you would like.
Just kidding. We like
We don't
all
care
people.
for.
We like.
We
all
don't care
people.
for, or they do not care about us.
We don't care for.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, okay.
That just Anyways,
Yeah.
I'm kidding. We're no better than anybody else.
No, we're not. No, we ain't. We're good.
Yep.
But it's the place that Jake's been wanting to do
For
for
yourself,
a long time.
Liam. I'm
What?
sorry. What?
I like everybody.
I'm just.
See, that's where you're wrong. I hate everybody. So I'm just kidding.
Hey, I'm just not social with everybody. But I do
I'm
like
joking.
everybody.
We're not gonna go there. Yes, we will. No,
Yeah.
that's a different show.
No, yeah, I would
People
like
hate.
to. We need to get into Glore, I think, as
Yeah.
a team, and we just go hang out there and do it overnight, man. That would
Yeah.
be awesome. There's a couple places I would love to try to camp out at.
Yeah, I agree. Trying to figure out. Sorry, everything's coming up slowly. That's why I'm trying to figure out what is happening.
Now, Jace, what floor did you have the most energy felt most?
know.
You know, down in the basement, basically nothing. It was just fun walking around down there. I was trying to keep track of my dad, who was wandering around.
So in
Yeah.
the morgue area, you didn't have anything?
He had the night vision goggles on that the Miller Group had. He was like walking around with them on,
Okay.
just wandering. So, but for me, second floor, big time.
Yeah.
Has some crazy stuff happening up there. It was also, I believe, it was the third floor. Now that was where it was all the. Third floor was. I forget. It's been so long since I've been. This was like back in early 2009 when I went.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, this is before I met the team or anybody. This is before I met. I was just like gung ho, ready to start doing this kind of stuff, and I could not remember. Was it the second? What floor has all the patient stuff that shows like how they lived and the dentist room and the
The second.
second floor? Okay, so that's the floor that when Misty and I were walking down all the way down to the far end, because down at the far end from the elevator, and we walked down to the far end, because down in that hallway in the stairwell, supposedly there is music that is played a lot. That they
Oh,
always
what?
hear music played.
By the rocking chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we walked past the rocking chairs, all the wicker ones,
Yes.
got probably about, I don't know, 8 to 10 feet away from that metal rocking chair that's down at the far end. That kind of, you can rock it and you can like almost tip yourself all the way back and up
Yes.
and it won't ever crash. Yeah. So Misty and I are a good 8 to 10 feet away from that thing when it just starts rocking on its own. And
Yeah.
she's just looking at me going, did you do that? I'm like, Misty, I'm standing next to you, damn it. I did not touch that, you know? She's like, okay, let's back away. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, you didn't see that coming?
Because she's the psychic.
She's the medium, you know?
Medium.
I was
Yeah.
like, you didn't freaking see that coming? Do you not see somebody sitting there? Because that could have been avoided this whole time. So, you know, I'm backing away, and I look back, and it's stopped, but it's leaned forward as if whoever is in it is like
Sitting
watching
forward.
us,
Yeah.
and just stopped it and is just watching us. So, you know, we're going around and everything, and then so we get downstairs, and she goes, "Oh, damn it! I left my recorder up there." And I was like, "Okay, I'll do it. I'll get it." You know, so I take the elevator, I go up there, and I make the choice to run it instead of walking it. I run the hallway, and that's when I, you know, make about halfway down there, and I look over and I see the damn nurse mannequin staring at
Hello,
me. And
nurse.
I flew to the side of the wall and I crashed into some shit and fell down, and then I just like grabbed my flashlight and just walked it the rest of the way. I was like, all right, I just made a fool of myself. So whoever's up here to scare me, I really don't care now because you're probably laughing at me anyway. So, but it was up on the third floor when they had the display of the Indian, the real artifacts of Indian dress and
Yes.
headgear and all that stuff.
Over by
And
the military and all that. Yeah.
yeah. So when I was there, this was just in a room by itself, basically, and it had all the headdress of the chief and everything, and then it had the kind of like a vest of the warrior and all that. And Misty had me close my eyes, and she stood there with me, and there's nobody else with us on the floor. And she's like, "Close your eyes." She's like, "We're gonna make him come back out." And so I closed my eyes, and we're standing side by side because I could kind of feel her shirt kind of touching my arm a little bit. So I know she didn't walk forward. And man, that glass started just vibrating violently. And next thing I know, it feels like somebody is right in my face and just breathing and moving around us, like staring at us, like trying to intimidate us and stare us down.
Wow.
And so she goes, "Okay, you can go back now. We just wanted to say hi, blah, blah, blah." And then the glass starts vibrating again, and bam, she's like, "Okay, you can open your eyes." And I opened my eyes. I immediately jumped out of the room to see if anybody else was there. Nobody was there. No one was around us. She was standing next to us the entire time. It was just like, okay, wow. That was amazing. I could actually almost feel the breathing, right there in the face. Like somebody was in my face staring me down, but taller, way taller than me. Of course.
You said before I kept
I
I was
wasn't
going
gonna go
to
that
say
Shut
route.
up.
I was gonna. I plan on it.
Shut up.
Wow. Yeah, that was an interesting
But yeah, so
place.
that was, yeah. So that was kind of my experience there, and all that. It was a great time. There was knocking on the walls on the second floor that my mom even could hear and stuff, and it was knocking on the wall that was actually answering back to questions and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
What about you, Dan? Did you have a particular area?
Oh yeah. The cold room, the cold box where I laid in the cold box, that was very active.
Cold box? Who calls that a cold box?
The cold box, the refrigerator, and hide the bodies and stash the bodies.
morgue?
In the morgue. The cold box.
Yeah.
The lobotomy table was kind of strange. The examination table right there in the room. We had shadow detectors on the door, and while I was laying in there, of course, it went off several times, and the REM pod was going off right there outside the door. I was in there. Lots of energy there. Lots of energy. Basically, where Jason was at, up there by the Native American room, with the headdress and all that, and back in the WW2 room, they had several artifacts in there that was very. We had full shadows walking up and down the hallway. We could see them. We had the group that we were with. We were lined up on each side of the hallway, and we were doing basically a Frank's box, but using a different program. We had somebody all the way at the other end of the room on the hallway, and she was down there, with the headphones and the tablet.
Nice.
We were down here asking questions, and she was, answering every question and back and forth. We had all our K2s, and we had REM pods through the middle of the hallway. You can watch. I mean, the REM pod would go off here, K2, REM pod, K2. I mean, all the way down the hallway, sequential, and then you'd see it go back. So, I mean, you could watch it walking back and forth. It was crazy. And then this was right outside on the second floor. No, it was on the third floor by between the military and the African American exhibit. And it was just crazy going off. It was, and then of course the tunnels. In the tunnels. I mean, if you go out the main entrance where you go in there, if you go just directly across the driveway, that's where the tunnels start, and you go in that door there. It's towards the prison, and it only goes about 250, maybe 300 foot deep, because at the other end they had to concrete it off, because that is the actual prison, so they had to concrete it off, so you can't go any further. But you go down there. It was pretty sinister down there, dark, heavy. You can almost feel people walking back and forth with carts and gurneys.
Yeah, you can hear them too, can't you?
Yeah, you can hear them. Then they have it's a T-tunnel, so you have the one full-length tunnel with all the paintings where it goes towards the prison. Then they have the other tunnel that goes off to the original hospital. Not the actual the mental ward, but the hospital part, which was eighth of a mile over or something, I guess.
Okay.
And it's partially flooded half the time now because of they got roads built over the top of it.
Oh, really?
and it's starting to fall in. But I mean, you can go pretty good far back into that tunnel, into where they have the barricades. But back in there, I don't know how to explain it. There's a little, you're walking the tunnel, and then right above you there's a little landing, and there's another little tunnel that goes off this way, a little kind of crawl space, like an air duct. And you always felt like somebody was staring at you out of that thing.
Huh.
It was really strange.
Nice.
But yeah, we stayed back in there for a few minutes. We did a couple things where they put some light sticks out there in the hallway, and we'd come back, and there was nobody down there because we locked the door behind us, and the light sticks were moved like 20 feet away.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the tunnels are cool. I'd like to spend some time down in there and hang out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I said, I just want to go, man. I've never been there. I've been wanting to go all these years. We had an opportunity one time. I remember this is when I really joined the team, maybe early on. It was all set up to go investigate there as a team. I don't know what happened, honestly. Why something shot it down. And it's about this time they quit letting teams go into there.
Well, they explained it to me when I talked
Did
to them,
they?
because I asked them about us going in there.
Uh-huh.
And of course, she says she wouldn't be the lady that can get us in. But they did have a team that was there. They came in, and they claimed to be professionals. They were out of Kansas City. And they went down there, and they did their whole spiel, and they said, okay, so we'll do this for free, get you some recordings and some video and help you guys out.
Uh-huh.
So they said, okay, well, you just got to stay in this part of the property. Don't go here. Don't venture off. Don't go nowhere near the prison.
Yeah, that's
Well,
right.
Several of them, 3 or 4 of the team, throughout the night, several times went over to the fence, which is prison property, and they were standing on the fence smoking,
That's right.
taking video of the actual prison itself. Trying to take pictures and video so they can have for their little thing.
Right.
Security come over, told them twice, or the police, I guess, the
Right.
corrections. You need to leave the area. You can't take film. You can't take pictures. Just leave. Well, they went back over there again. So yeah, they almost got fined, the actual museum. So
Yeah.
they said no more
Gotcha.
at that point.
That sucks. Because, I would love to go on and get in there.
I think we can. I mean, we can reach out to the team that's going to do that. I thought about buying those tickets to go to the overnight.
I saw
thing
that
with
too. I wondered. But it's back. Is that the one that's in September, like I said? Is that what it is? Or October or something like that? I
I
didn't
think
know.
it's late September.
I just didn't know what was going on as far as what we're doing
Yeah.
and everything else. Because we still have a lot of a lot of people reaching out to us, wanting.
Yes, we need to get our cases going.
Yeah, and we still got to. There's evidence we got to present to people we've already investigated, and that
Yeah.
they want the evidence now. So, yeah, with Corona being
Yeah.
so weird. What?
Yeah.
Oh, I just said something else, Jason. Sorry, but yeah, it's just every day. It just amazes me that.
Oh wow, I'm praying. Hallelujah. My eyes are closing the pictures. I do
Yeah.
apologize, people.
Mine's kind of close. But no, I was trying to fix some stuff behind the scenes, and that's why I'm looking down. But I can't get it going. I don't know what happened. Like I said, something with the servers happened. Crazy. But we're all good. It's all good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll talk through it.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, going back to some of the stuff we talked about, just cases and stuff like that. I don't know. There's not anything that jumps out of my mind that a place that I don't buy into. A lot of places I want to go to, like St. Augustine's, down in Florida,
Yeah,
the lighthouse.
Yeah.
Because that one, it's not just the lighthouse. Everybody thinks the lighthouse only because of the whole ghost hunters capturing the thing up in the top of the lighthouse, But the museum itself is very haunted. I mean, there's all those forts that I like to go investigate. I think
The
those are-
town is
Yeah.
super haunted.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, they've had several. I mean, pre-America's ship crashes there.
Mhm.
People died right off the reef, right outside of that place.
That's crazy.
So I mean, there's a lot of death there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any place. Like I said, David Omenhouse was my bucket list, so I don't know what else to,
Right,
to shoot
right.
for now. I mean, if you guys had the opportunity, what's your bucket list as far as what's a place you once you're there? That's
for
not
me,
else to
I know.
compare. Go ahead, Jason.
Lincoln, New Mexico.
Which part though? I mean, everywhere or just?
Lincoln, New Mexico, basically the whole town. I mean, definitely where they jailed Billy the Kid.
Mm-hmm.
I want to investigate there. Even the old stores that are still there,
Sure.
the original stores. The original stores are still there. I want to get a chance to go inside and see what we can find out there. But also, both Jesse James locations.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's
Definitely the farmhouse for me.
yeah.
So I can
Personally.
only have 3, so yeah, we're there.
So down, I never really thought about it. I know we talk about the Old West a lot on the show and off the show. Is there anything that you've heard as far as down in New Mexico, whatever? Is there any hauntings down there specifically? Did anybody see anybody like not Jesse James, but Billy the Kid or anybody?
Not that I've ever read.
I was just curious. Yeah.
For me, it would be just the aspect of
Just being there.
being there, because I'd be like a kid in a candy store, and I've read so much about both views of his life and death and all that, and I don't know. I would imagine that there's something there. I mean,
Sure.
there's Bell, Deputy Bell was shot and killed inside that building. So Bob Ollinger was shot outside. Basically just how the movie depicts it.
They shot John Bon Jovi in it.
I know.
Too,
I
in
know.
the pit. Just
I
kidding.
know. He got out, got free, got shot, and fell back in the pit.
No,
Like,
but
what a way to go.
Right. No, I was just curious because you hear about Tombstone, you hear about Dodge City, Wichita, all the places we're familiar with, but I've never really thought about down there. I'm sure there's stories of somebody wandering around.
Now, the Jesse James farmhouse where he grew up, probably born and raised out there,
Right.
is what I'm imagining.
In
The
Missouri?
house is still, in Missouri. It's still, the original cabin is there. And then his brother Frank and his wife added on to the cabin. So
Right.
a portion of it is more modern. But, yeah, man, I mean, it still has the blast marks from the Pinkertons
Yeah.
inside when they threw the bomb in. Even though they claimed we didn't have a bomb. Yeah, well, something exploded, dumbass. Blew off mom's arm and killed the little brother. Yeah, something happened. But reports out there are they hear horses riding up. They hear gunshots outside. They hear voices all the time out there on the property and the land and stuff. And it's beautiful. I mean, the whole property is beautiful. I can't wait to actually take you guys out there. It's like my bucket list to take you guys there just for like a day trip.
I'm down.
I'm not.
I know, it's hard to get Leo out of the house. It's hard to get him out of the house.
Okay, so what about you? Sorry, Dan. What's your place if you had a bucket list? I mean, on your bucket list.
He had 3. I'm going to go with at least 2. I would love to do the catacombs
In Paris?
in Paris.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Wallace Castle.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I would love to do Wallace Castle.
Any castle for that matter. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
any
Wallace
ca-
would be cool, yeah.
Wallace Castle would
Yeah.
be just phenomenal.
Yep.
And man, in the U.S., let's see if I go somewhere in the U.S. Man, it's so hard. There's so many I want to see.
Oh, I know.
Damn it.
It's okay. You said 2.
Yeah, I got 2 down. No. I'd Sir Wallace Castle. I mean that would be something special. I mean, there's so much there, so many
Yeah.
hundreds of years of history there,
Mhm.
500-600 years. Just to see that and to feel the energies in that place.
Yeah.
You go down to the dungeon.
Oh,
and
yeah.
of course the catacombs. I mean,
That catacombs would be creepy. 'Cause
Yes.
There's no electricity. There's some electricity
towards
there.
the front
Yeah.
and
but
yeah,
not
there's
to the back where you
No.
can get lost. Yeah.
no, yeah,
Yep.
you
Yeah.
know.
I think it'd be cool.
And Buckingham Palace would be kind of cool too,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
because I mean that thing's
It's
hundreds
old.
of years old, and
Yeah.
they do have a tower where they help people, and
Hmm.
people were killed there. Oh, Jason's got ideas.
We don't care about Jason's ideas.
Buckingham Palace. I don't know, man. In the U.S., man, I tell you what, there's so many places.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to spend 3 weeks and have full access to Eureka Springs. I mean, there's so
Yeah.
much that happened down there.
Yep.
Still going on in there. Go down in the tunnels again. Man, anywhere on the East Coast. I mean, New York. I mean, there's so many places there in New York
Oh yeah.
State that,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I got a couple now that I've been to David Owen's house, and now I have to work my way down now. I mean, for me, outside the U.S., I want to do, Vlad the Impaler, Dracula's castle
Yes.
out in Romania. I think that'd be cool. Well,
I think we need to hike it from the bottom up, because they said that is treacherous.
Yeah.
And it's like supposedly there's a curse to it, to where a lot of people who try to attempt to hike up it end up falling to injury or death. Or
Well, let's not hope for death.
Well, I don't want to climb that thing.
I don't want to die in a foreign
Come
country.
on, let's go hiking.
There's also, and Josh Gates, when they did Destination Truth, they went a couple times, and that Romanian forest where nothing grows, that big
Oh
center.
God, yes.
I can't think of what it's
Yes.
called, but the fact they captured this wind, and they kept that thing grabbed Evan off camera, the cameraman, grabbed him and yanked him out of the, his sitting spot, and was all caught on camera and everything.
That
And-
would be cool too. I didn't
yeah,
think
I
about
want,
that place.
those two
Wow.
places. If we were in Romania, that's the two places I'd want to go.
Wow.
Those two. I also want to go to in Mexico, the Island of the Dolls. With
Okay. Yeah.
with all those creepy dolls down there, and the voices, and the little girl they see, whatever.
Still in the water, coming
Yep.
up out of the water and
Mhm.
stuff. Yeah, that's a lot.
That place, and then I want to, in the U.S. I want to definitely hit like Eastern State Penitentiary. That's one of
Yeah.
my favorite ones. I want to go to somewhere. I want to go to a good prison like that, like Eastern State, or even like I said, Mansfield Reformatory, or somewhere somewhere that has such a dark-seated
Well,
history.
Missouri State's the oldest prison this side of
Yeah,
the
the
Mississippi.
bloodiest 100 acres, this west of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
We were supposed to go there, and we were days away from there,
Yes.
and that's when the famous tornado just hit.
Yeah.
What was it, about a year ago?
May.
May, yeah. Like, it was raining real bad, and all of a sudden, it's like the tornado hits and says, you guys are not going there. So it's like
Yeah.
something kept us away, which I always found ironic. What are the odds?
Oh, I did too.
I mean,
Yeah.
because you don't hear, yes, it happens. We're in the Midwest. Tornadoes happen. But it's just the fact that it happened.
When is one hit a place like that? Number
Like,
one.
Thursday night, we were leaving that Friday to drive out there,
Yeah.
and it happened Thursday night. And it
Yeah.
takes down part of the prison wall,
Yeah.
and whatnot, and damages some of the structure. And it's just like, God damn, really?
But it did help them find one of the older
Oh,
set of
yeah.
cells underground. So I mean,
True.
it's kind of cool that it did happen, but I'm bad. It sucks that it did.
Yeah. So, someplace like that.
Hey, Leo.
Hey, what?
That forest, I can't say it, but it's HOIA forest there in Romania.
HOIA.
Urban.
Hold on, if I see it, I'll know. I think I could probably say it.
Hawaii.
It's the Romania haunted forest. Destination Truth
Oh, the
was
Hoya.
there.
The Hoya. Oh yeah, BACIU.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hoya. I can't say it either. Now that you said that, dang it.
I know, sorry.
Hoyabaku.
Something like that, actually. But yeah, that's the
Yeah.
forest, and where you just wood all the way around it, and then you get to the center, and nothing will grow there, and it just has a different feeling. And the thing I thought was interesting besides on Destination Truth, when he got yanked out, and you hear those voices come in.
Oh,
You
yeah.
get the scratches on his arms that supposedly there's like some kind of like not banshees or women that supposedly come in prey on men,
Right.
supposedly.
But do you remember the strange lights
I
behind
was
you?
going to say that the little orbs they kept seeing
Yeah.
behind him, and all that stuff just out in the distance right before this happens, and I don't know, man, that stuff would be crazy just to
Yeah.
see, just creepiness.
Why does the grass not grow? Why did the wood? Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, what's so
Yeah.
special about that area that, I mean, it makes no sense, and that's been that way for a long time. Let's see here. I'm trying to see real quick here. Some skeptics say that that's just stories for entertainment, lack any testable evidence that says, but some of them have been featured on shows from Ghost Adventures to Destination Truth. It's just supposedly one of those places, like kind of like David Owens' place, which you guys, like I said, haven't experienced yet, but it's one of those areas that have weird magnetic and EMF phenomenons that just they're off the charts, and you can just feel it. I mean, it just resonates like water. It's just like your head's in water constantly, getting pushed around. That's what it feels like, and that's kind of what I experienced out there at his house. That's kind of what happens in this location too, from what I understand. It's just
Wow.
like radio waves or something, which I don't think it's probably safe for the human body to be like that, but so be
Not
it.
for very long.
Yeah, but
You wouldn't think
David's
so.
lived there for 20 plus years, and he's
Yeah.
maybe his body's adjusted to it.
Yeah.
But that night I was there, like I said, I just could feel it, and then I walked into where I thought I was gonna pass out literally during the podcast, right before it cut off at the end with the whole REM pod thing happening.
Well, maybe his radar isn't as strong as yours. Maybe it doesn't affect him as much,
Could be.
which could be.
Yeah, but he does hear a lot of stuff. And
Oh,
see a lot of
yeah.
stuff. He hears the voices really well, which is I didn't know how he would being in the house, but maybe he's just accustomed to them. But
Yeah.
he does hear them though, because he's caught some stuff that people that were seasoned in there didn't hear, and he's like, "Oh, that's right there," and you go back and listen to it, sure as hell it's
It's right
there,
there.
and he hears them, and
Well, he knows his house really well.
yeah. I wish our feed wouldn't cut out that bad that night too, as far as the audio goes. That night we had video, we just didn't have audio very well. It was the exact opposite. Well, kind of it froze a couple times, but he was telling the story. That's why I didn't tell the famous Lindsay Lohan story, because she was just something else to
That's
go
crazy.
there. But it's the fact that when she wanted to buy that picture or the note from
Letter.
Sharon
Yeah.
Tate to her mom, and she's like, "I'll give you money. How much do you want for it?" And David said he heard a female voice that he very well believes is Sharon Tate talking to him. Says she doesn't have much more than $600 in her pocket, or ish, whatever. Make it a real high dollar amount. He says, "Give me $1,000," and she's like, "Oh, okay." She starts going through her purse and can't find enough money, and it's like whatever was there really knew that.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, look in his pocket. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just funny. But then ended up missing anyway. A picture did, and it's just obviously who took it.
Now,
Lindsay.
did his second night thing go over pretty well? I mean,
I caught most of it, then I passed out because
Yeah, I did too.
Because 2 days of that, and I had stuff to do throughout the day leading up to it. I woke up and like crap. I woke up and it just ended. I'm like, seriously? Because based upon time,
yeah.
I was gonna reach out to him because he may rebroadcast it. Hopefully, I'm
I hope
hoping
so,
he
yeah.
mentioned something like that. So I don't know what it costs him to do it. I know he's probably gonna do something once he goes through all the evidence, and puts he'll probably put something like a shorter video together versus the full
Yeah.
16 hours worth.
So you can get all the evidence broken
Yeah,
into it. Yeah.
he did put the not the podcast, but the interview with the what's her name, the Harley girls, Harley twins, whatever. I think he said he put it on YouTube already.
He
That,
did?
that
Okay.
was the second night, so because some of that stuff was just fodder, It's just he experienced what we experienced, doing these things. Technical
Oh, yeah.
difficulties the first night, and he had some. Second night wasn't bad, but it had an earthquake, and it was just craziness going on. I mean, all kinds of weird shit happening, but
And hopefully recoup some of that money, man. I tell you what, that was
yeah.
expensive process for so much drama to happen.
But the video when they were doing the investigation part looked great,
Yeah.
phenomenal. They had those live videos going and cameramen following them. That looked freaking amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
it was good to see that. I know they had some audio. Where the first interview they couldn't hear. Well, the first live interview with I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I should know this. Scott. I can't remember his last name. He does the ghost tour, the Hollywood ghost
Yes.
tours out in California.
Yeah.
And he used to have a museum like Zach's kind of, but he couldn't afford it, so he had to get rid of it. But he does all the haunted stuff with Charles Manson. Takes you on the tours, and I always wanted to take it, but I never have. I wish I would have now, but maybe in due time I will, because he'll take you to all locations where he'll take you by the Viper Room, where River Phoenix
Oh, yeah,
died.
yeah.
I'll take you by that, which I've been by that multiple times.
Have you been in there?
Never been in there. I should,
I've
because
heard
usually
it's pretty wicked.
it has an ominous feeling. I heard because it's all dark and black, and the
Black,
walls are painted
yeah.
black, and it's just probably just feeling. It's a bar, a rock and roll bar. It's probably alcohol and just this lot of smoke and stuff. So you probably could just feel the suffocation.
Yeah.
But I thought the Ghost Adventures episode seemed pretty good about it.
Yeah, it did.
I like that one.
I did like that
Yeah.
one.
So no, I've just, usually the times I've been out there, I've either been with family, so I was like, I can't just, hey, can I jump in real quick, But this
Yeah.
last time I drove past it on the way back from David's house, going to my hotel or my Airbnb
Airbnb.
in Hollywood. Enough that I have video of it. I'm just filming. I'm just driving around. 'Cause I'm still riding that high from being at David's house. I'm just like, oh my god, I was just at David Holmes' house. It's 3 in the morning, and I'm driving back, and I just put my GoPro up, and I'm just filming, just going down, I'm commenting, make my own shit, and just having a good time by myself, basically.
Wow.
So I passed the Viper Room. I passed it. It's right on the corner from opposite corner or down the street from Whiskey Go Go and all that stuff. The famous, rock and roll club with Molly Crew. Everybody thinks of, Van Halen played there, back when they were in their heydays, trying to get, discovered. But trying to think what else. But yeah, he does that haunted tour. But anyway, going back to that, his mic, you can hear him. He had a mic pack on, and
It sounded horrible.
yeah, but you can hear David right next to him playing his day,
Yes.
and David was the whole night was phenomenal. But yeah, it's good to know that the professionals, because he had, like I said, a professional production crew come in. They were having audio and video trouble, so
Yeah.
I mean, it made me feel
Not
a little
just us,
better.
yeah.
But it still doesn't help when it happens in the moment. I'm still pissed off. So,
Yeah.
but we'll get David back on once he has a chance to, like I said, go through things. He'll come back on. He is going to do, I believe, another one of those shows in Halloween.
Okay.
Because I think that's when I'll go on and do a more like a little 15-minute interview with him too, and then he'll broadcast it around that time. He said. So that's the thinking, anyways. We'll see how it works out if it does. But
That's awesome.
yeah,
We got to do something on the 31st. What are we going to do? We got to do
Trick or
something big. And trick or treat? No.
is there even going to be a Halloween this year? Because
Well, as of right now, I've got, I think, 2 walking tours that
I
night.
saw that you
On the
did.
31st?
She booked you Friday. And
I
Saturday.
know. She didn't even. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did not. I did not agree to that, so I need to
Yeah.
figure that out because I have things that I want to do too.
Sure,
So.
yeah, right. Yeah, we always do something on Halloween. Seems like as a group we try to. We've done investigations. We've done different things. So and it's on a weekend this year. So it
Saturday,
sucks.
full moon.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll figure it out. Yep. So, but and what Jason's talking about, Ghost Tours of Kansas does. They used to do a bus tour and a walking tour, but this year with Corona, they're limited the bus tours just for safety reasons. So they're going to do walking tours only. And Jason is one of the hosts, the host in Wichita here. So he'll do one down in Delano and possibly
First
take you to
time.
locations.
Yeah,
Oh, the actual walking
first
tour.
time. Yeah, this is
Walking.
first time